We're about to start the session, so please take your seat. There's some seats down at the front. In a moment, I'll introduce the two key execs from HP to this HP Theatre breakout. I'll just explain the format. HP is going to give a presentation, and then at the end, there will be the opportunity to ask questions. There'll be a Q&A session with roving mics, so please keep your questions to the end. That's probably the best thing. But please feel free to ask questions. We like to make this as interactive as possible. So I'd like to welcome to the stage two esteemed executives from HP. We've got Neeraj Sharma, who is a VP of Indirect Business for Enterprise Group, and Thomas Jensen, who's worldwide VP of Channel Sales. Gentlemen.
Thank you, Alistair. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. So on behalf of HP APJ Management, I would like to welcome all of you to the Canalys session in 14. It's good that you could join us in Shanghai here. It's wonderful to see a lot of faces that I saw in Bangkok as well. I think this is a great event because it brings technology, vendors, and partners together on the same platform to interact. So we are today pleased to share with you exciting news and updates about HP. My name is Neeraj Sharma. I handle indirect sales for Asia Pacific, as Alistair said. With me is Thomas Jensen. He's the PPS Vice President for Worldwide Channel, and we will be your hosts for today.
Thank you, Neeraj. And today's host and today's topic is actually about how we, together with you as partners, can benefit from the changing face of technology, from the changing environment that we're all part of. You saw 3 keynote sessions this morning, all addressing change. We would like to take you into the HP world and give you a little bit of direction and insights to what topics we're taking in this perspective, how we can work with you, and how you can benefit from the changes into our PartnerOne program, into our new direction, both from a PPS and an EG perspective. We will be followed, at Alistair's said, by a Q&A, approximately 20 minutes, so please feel free to ask any questions you like. Be aware, though, that we are in a quiet period. We just finished our financial year last Friday, so we're not allowed to comment on any figures or anything in that perspective, but anything else on the strategic direction, on the split, on Enterprise Group, on PPS, please feel free.
Thanks, Thomas. And as you heard today, Bill Vetty talk in the morning in a keynote, the strategy and the direction in which the industry is moving towards, and the focus that we have on our partners. Clearly, one of the cornerstones of our partner ecosystem is our ability to listen to you, to take feedback from you, and to react to that. So it's an extremely important event for us as we strive to simplify the channel sales engagement and the indirect ecosystem as we work with you. Let me just quickly now jump straight into the HP journey. We started the turnaround for HP in fiscal 12 when Meg laid the foundation, and we looked at stabilizing the organization. We started reducing our costs. We brought new discipline to our capital allocation. We brought new leadership in place and made many more innovative products and services.
And what we did in 2013, our financial year, was really about fixing and rebuilding the strategic direction of HP, fixing what needed to be fixed, but also rebuilding the strategic direction, our relationship with the channel, the way we went to market. We focused on our optimization, our processes. We focused on debt optimization. In fact, we actually came to a level where we reduced our debt to 0 in the company. In 2014, which is the financial year we just ended last Friday, we've been focusing on recovery and expansion. We've been focusing on the new direction in relation to our channel partners to ensure that we're optimizing our go-to-market strategies, that we're working with partners to work in areas like new product innovation. We've been focusing on R&D a lot. We've seen Moonshot 3-Par coming out from our Enterprise Group. You've seen OfficeJet Pro X for Enterprise, and as you saw in the keynote, the new Sprout project that was just announced last week.
Yeah, thanks. And I think in this journey that we've had, in the turnaround. We've kept both our customers and partners at the center of everything that we've done. I remember being in Canalys here last year as well, and our commitment to increase business through this route is something that is really showing results, and we continue to work through with you. So let me now quickly get into the enterprise part of the discussion, which is basically about the enterprise group being committed to enable business outcomes through world-class infrastructure, having the security services and the software to enable you in the new style of IT, and having a cloud infrastructure that is open and secure that really helps you build the foundation on this infrastructure. And binding the glue is the financial services that we have that brings better business models out in the industry. So we have one of the best portfolio of innovation in the marketplace, the best infrastructure, a software that gives you data insights for outcomes, and a huge services division which really helps you to take your mic applications securely to the web or in the new style of IT, all in a step-by-step environment. But let me take a step back and talk about last year. Last year, when I was here on stage, my commitment to all the partners was that we will continue to grow this business and route to market through the channel. And I'm very happy to say that we continue to be the #1 channel for an enterprise group, and we are 79% indirect. Every single business unit of HP, whether it is servers, storage, networking, or technology services, is growing through this route. And there is great momentum that you have given us in this marketplace. When we started last year with focus on the channel and investment in SMB, we've grown in double digits in the last year. And to drive and for that growth, I really would like to thank all of you here who've contributed in this journey. But let me take a step back and talk about our journey in the last couple of years as we've built a very strong partner framework as we moved in the industry. This partner framework that we've put together is probably the best in the industry, and is a pan-HP framework that doesn't look at few isolated parameters alone. It is focused on compensation, it is focused on growth, it's focused on innovation, it's focused on engagement with your partners, and it's also focused on a very strong partner experience that you have while you work with us. So it is one of the broadest industry frameworks that you would see, and I would dare say one of the best in the industry. And it is a multi-year framework for us, and as we continue to develop on this framework, to be simple, profitable, predictable, and fast has been our motto as we announced this program at the beginning of this year. Sounds familiar with what you heard today, though, but we've been doing this for 1 year. There is a lot of proof points beyond the partner framework that we talked about. We started, one of the first turnaround efforts for our partner framework was a compensation journey. We looked at addressing the PartnerOne program through simple, profitable payouts from $1. It's been widely accepted by a lot of partners that they're now able to plan their cash flows better. They're able to look at how to plan their quarters ahead because they know exactly what kind of money they're making. So there's been a great focus and feedback from partners to continue to be simple around PartnerOne execution. One of the other things that we did last year was around our joint business planning. There has been a great amount of focus that we want to bring with our partners to really work with you not only as relationship managers, but also as business professionals who actually manage a plan with you. And you as partner principals who've been working very closely with HP have the right to cancel a plan and tell us this plan is something that you like further improvement upon. So the joint business plan activity that we were crawling with last year is now, we've moved to a stage where we are walking and running and doing good, strong plans with you. Internally, we continue to be very, very strong in terms of the way we want to transform our PBMs from a skills perspective. We have put down strong rules of engagement within the HP organizations on how to work with the partners, and that is seeing us bring fruits to our engagement with our partners and the growth that we are seeing in the channel. Let me quickly talk about 3 areas in addition on the partner framework. One is around innovation, the second is around growth, and the third is around partner experience. You saw Bill Wetty talking about this chart in the morning as well. Innovation is really alive and well in HP. You can see, this is really an eye chart. You can just see from the breadth of innovations that we have done today, that we are alive and kicking and back with newer products in the marketplace. Whether it is the announcement of the Gen 9 with focus on compute and workloads, whether it is the announcement of the HP Helion expanding our HP cloud ecosystem, or it is around our SDN controllers, or is it around the all-flash array. We have made significant progress in the area of innovation, and we are committed to be on that path because that's what is core to our DNA. And that is something that we give to our partners as a food for thought, that we are one of the vendors with the strongest innovation stories in the marketplace. The second is around growth, and this is something that we was very specifically focused on Asia Pacific. Last year, we had committed that we will grow shoulder to shoulder with partners in some areas of business where partners will lead the business. The small and medium businesses market, we created the infrastructure in Asia Pacific last year. We set up a system of creating demand generation, and we worked that through with you in terms of closing the business. It's been an extremely successful business for us, and as you can see, this is virtually driven by the channel, by our partners. So I really want to thank all the partners who've really worked on with us in the SMB strategy. The good point that we did was that both our distributors as well as our reseller partners, we created separate unique compensation plans to make sure that we pay you for the additional work that you do as you lead our partner activity. So that's the second focus area that we embarked upon. And the third has been a multi-year journey around how do we enable partners to be more frictionless in terms of experience with us? How do we ensure that you work better with us and we improve the way we work with you? We have invested significantly in our Unison platform, already deployed in many, many countries. Over 10 tools have been now deployed in the last year in the Asia Pacific region. So whether it is smart quote or better pricing, or market development funds, which is the next generation MDF tool that we've deployed, or around leads management, or around rebates, we are trying to make the journey more automated and be the best of breed in the industry as we move forward. And in addition, what we have done is we've deployed the Unison Partner Portal, a portal that you can use to clearly interface with all the tools that we are deploying. So we are making giant strides in the way we work with our partners. We want to have the best of breed automation, drive growth, and significantly look at innovation to enable your businesses. But the industry is changing. Today, as you sit at this juncture, there is an inflection in this industry. So is this framework, the best of industry frameworks, good enough? We seriously think that as the market evolves, we continuously need to change and work with our partners. And we heard a lot about this in the morning in all the 3 sessions, the keynote sessions, that you see the interplay of macro trends, of business imperatives, and the technology trends intersecting with each other. Businesses are being driven to reduce costs. They're being reduced to drive more productivity and also to drive higher outcomes. And the consumerization of IT is driving big trends. So, the expectation of having an update release a couple of years ago for an app was 6 to 9 months. Today, developers don't even wait for a few weeks for the next version of the app to come up. Or whether it's about the usage of a simple thing like a banking transaction that we do on our phones today. The moment you start a banking transaction, it brings in all the megatrends like security, big data, cloud, and mobility into play it all together. So there is a frenetic search at the back in the cloud to serve you with the data. So that's the background of the industry that we're living in from an industry point of view. Now let's have a look at how the partner industry is changing. The partner landscape is also changing along with the industry change. The role of the business partner is evolving more to a consultative role today. There are people now who are trusted advisors to the customer. We have distributors whose profile is changing. They are now becoming more aggregators to the cloud. They're trying to create more value in the space. And this is now resulting into increased cooperation between the various partners, because there is a lot of interdependence and overlapping that is coming into play. New players are coming, new service providers are coming into the market to serve infrastructure, to sell infrastructure as a service, or people like Born in the Cloud, the new players in the market are actually coming in and selling in even software stack. So we are now in a partner landscape environment, which is on the backdrop of an industry that is changing. So there is clearly two inflection points. The market's changing, the partner landscape is changing. In addition to things, there's a third thing that's happening in the marketplace, which is that the services, that the partner model is also changing. We are increasingly seeing the mix to become more services oriented with all of the partners today. We strongly believe that the services mix will continue to progress in the next few years, could move as high as 50 to 55%. So the partner journey of transformation is happening today, and partners need significant cutting edge technology, skills for transformation, and the right vendor to make sure that they're able to make the journey together. Very, very importantly, because there are disparate vendors available, there are a variety of choices available today for the partners, and the partners are really inflecting on that. And this choice is very, very thoughtful today, because this transition has to be done very thoughtfully so that you don't burn your cash out as you move to the services model, and at the same time are not too late in the game. And I've seen that every partner has his own journey. We have many, many partners in this multi-year journey, especially in mature markets like South Pacific, see some partners in India, and see partners in Korea and Japan as well. So you have partners on the journey for innovation, and the shift of the services-led business, let me remind you, will create a lot of demand for compute and storage, and which is why infrastructure will matter in this transition. This is not a device transition. This is more of an industry transition where the compute and storage will play a key role as we move forward. So as we move forward today, I hear so many partners amongst you looking at each other and evaluating what my vendor strategy should be and how I should be driving the marketplace and who should I be working with. Partners are really looking at vendors who can give them broad platforms and complete portfolios across the marketplace. They're looking at vendors who can give them flexible market offerings, and they're also looking at vendors who can actually train partners today. I'm very happy to say that HP is very, very uniquely positioned in all of these three parameters. We have the broadest infrastructure market and a portfolio of innovation that the partners can rely on. We have strong offerings now emerging out for our partners, whether it is flexible capacity services or proactive care coming out from our stable to help drive the partners to drive businesses in the way customers are wanting it. And most importantly, and this is a commitment that the channel organization is highly focused on, to transform the key partners that we work with to drive business outcomes and skills in a manner that align with something that HP wants to sell. So we are committed to partners to transform their skills as well. So it's a great journey as we move forward today to the future, keeping HP as a vendor in mind. A lot of us today are sitting on the cusp of transformation. And I must say that, when I look across the Asia Pacific region, a lot of EG partners are just beginning their journey. In some countries are further along the way. And we strongly believe that partner organizations will progress horizontally along managed services and cloud. But some partners will also go down vertically and develop practice areas, for example, for big data or for security. As we move forward into fiscal 15, HP will offer solutions to enable this broad band under our PartnerOne program. We are committed to do it in an open standards-based platform and with optimized infrastructure for workloads with the broadest services program. What we're doing as we move into fiscal 15 is we are picking up a set of platinum partners who will work with us in this transformation journey, and we will take them into the journey of skilling them, because we believe that skill is probably the most important element as we move forward in our journey for transformation. It is going to be an engaging journey, and I'm really looking forward to be on that journey together with you. So with that, let me just pause here and invite Thomas for his presentation and perspective on PPS and the channel. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Neeraj. I'll take you through a little bit on the PPS direction, what we're looking at from a channel strategy in the coming year. First and foremost, I'd like to thank you all both for coming here today and for your business. The channel is crucial for HP, both for the enterprise group and for our printing and PC division. Without the channel, we were nothing. We have always been with the channel. We have revitalized that relationship. We need you to support us on the journey we are on right now, and we're utterly grateful for your support and for your help. When we look at the printing and the PC part of our business, and as Bill mentioned in his keynote, we're somewhere in between being private persons, individuals, being business persons at the other side, and being at the go as well. We are all somewhat mobile, we are all somewhat private consumers, and we are all business persons. We need to make sure that we adapt to the needs of us as consumers in terms of design, in terms of feasibility, but we also need to adapt to what companies see as the most important part: security, manageability, adaptability into corporate networks. And that's what the PC and printing division is all about. We are trying to find that intersection. We are ensuring that we are developing the products that the users, both the consumers and the business users, like and desire, as well as we are accommodating what the IT managers, the CIOs of the world really needs. From a computing perspective, we're looking at how we can utilize the consumer design that we're known for into business applications, both in our workstation part, in our thin client development, as well as our laptop, tablets, and so forth. On the printing side, we are looking at LaserJet, further development, multifunction printers, enabling it for mobility, flow print, as well as we are bringing ink into the office. We have a unique proposition with our ink printers, our enterprise ink printers today. We have twice the speed, half the cost compared to traditional laser printers. And we actually do look at how can we further develop the LaserJet printing technology and the inkjet printing technology, so we're merging the category and looking at business print from once. This is all about what PPS is trying to do for the next 12 months and beyond that. When we look at channel, when we look at all you, our partners, we are all focused on what are we delivering for you, how can we support you in selling more products. We have one promise to you, and we're going to keep that promise. We want it to be more simple, more profitable, and more predictable. So whenever I meet partners here and they ask me what's next in PartnerOne, there is nothing next in PartnerOne. We're maintaining the predictability and the partner structure that we have. And as Neeraj said, it's one of the best partner programs in the industry. What you'll see us doing is making refinements, adaptations, and improvements, but you will not see major changes moving forward. We want to keep that stable environment, both as HP Inc. and Hewlett-Packard Enterprises. You will see that we will become more close to you in our relationships. We have our executive sponsorship program, which was launched earlier this year. We will be reinforcing the business planning that we're doing with our partners to make sure that we are addressing the right business propositions. You will see that from a program infrastructure, we will continue to make refinements, both in terms of the partner programs, but most importantly also on the Unison platform. Neeraj addressed it. You will continue to see a stable environment and a platform that will enable you one-stop shopping with HP from a partner perspective. The third thing we're going to look at the next year is our sales force. We widely acknowledge that our sales force have room for improvement. They need to be closer with you. They need to be better at addressing your needs. They need to be much stronger in supporting you in selling, both in front of the end customers, but also in educating your sales staff. So you will see us investing in our sales force to enable them to invest in you, both from a time, from a knowledge, and from a program perspective. And finally, on the right side, the fourth topic that we are going to work with is the whole product launch part. You will see a number of announcements coming out from HP in the next 12 months. You've seen a lot coming in the past 12 months. We have initiatives in the area of SMB. We have our flow print systems. We have new LaserJet categories that we launched earlier this year. You will see us continue to invest in ink in the office. We will have new form factors coming out in the tablet and in the mobile space. You will see us investing in the new style of IT, and we are working closely with Neeraj and his colleagues to ensure that we are still doing that from a way that it benefits you across your business. Let me deep dive a little bit into mobility. This is one of the hottest topics right now in the industry, and it's one of the things that we are focusing on at HP. The mobile technology is evolving at a speed that very few people can cope with and imagine. We refer to mobile as the same and mobility as the same as internet were back in the late 90s. Nobody had envisioned where internet was going, the scope we were looking at. Mobility is the same thing for us. If we look at the predictions, right now we're looking at 2010 numbers. We had 12.5 billion connected devices. We're looking at more than 100 billion connected devices in 2020. We're going beyond the devices. We're going into the Internet of Things. You will see wearables. You will see cars connected. You will see a lot of things where mobility is becoming more and more important. What is interesting is that when we look at right now, the Internet is coping and the wireless networks are coping with approximately 1 device per 3 users on the Wi-Fi networks. In 2020, analysts predict that each user will have 3 devices connected to the Wi-Fi at the same time. And 73% of all CIOs expect that mobility will impact their business more than the internet did when it came out. So mobility is the future for HP, it's the future for our customers, and it's the future for our channel. So we need your support to make sure that we address that market in the best possible way. The interesting thing about mobility is that it's a widely misunderstood concept. Most people, when they think about mobility, they think about applications at devices. It's the tip of the iceberg. They only see the top part of it. We need to address connectivity. If we look at legacy Wi-Fi systems, they're suited to have 1 device per 3 users. If we need to adapt that into 3 devices per users within the next 5 to 6 years, that gives a huge opportunity for us, our networking business, for you, our partners, to really pursue that part. We need to look beyond applications, but also look at software adaptation. How do we make sure that the software, the management systems that we are using is actually adapting to that part? And finally, we need to build the infrastructure on the mobile part. HP's strategy in that part is to be the provider and the solution optimizer, both in infrastructure, in the devices, services, security, big data analytics, and we want to keep delivering on the promise we've given to the CIOs, our top customers, your top customers, manageability, serviceability, and security. Mobile devices can be a huge risk for CIOs, and we need to make sure that we are addressing that in the best possible way. Moving a little bit ahead, because we are also looking not only in mobility, but in general, how can we support you, our channel partners, to sell our products? We have a new world out there. The users that we are facing are having a different world than what we grew up in. They're looking at social media, they're looking at interaction, they're looking in different ways of adapting to needs, to IT, and to the way we communicate with them. So what we've developed, which we are announcing and launching next week, both between EG and PPS, is a new set of sales plays, which is a way that we can support you, our partners, and our own sales force in selling products moving forward. This is more than just marketing. Sales plays is for us where we've been out in front of our customers, we've been out in front of a number of our top partners across the world, understanding what do they need, how would they like to interact with us and with your sales force, how can we ensure that we are prioritizing the right initiatives and supporting you where it's needed, make it simple, understandable, and easy to execute for the sales force, as well as we want to play to win. When we go out together with you, we want to win the customers. We want to make sure that we enable you to win more business and make that business more profitable. So you'll see us coming out with sales plays across PPS, EG, and pan-HP. So we actually have a number of solutions which is spanning across the two business units. We're looking at virtualization, we're looking at mobility, we're trying to enable our partners to become more close to our customers. What you'll see is a number of different things which we've never done before. We will be looking into social media, we will be looking into videos, play cards. We will be educating our sales staff and your sales staff on whiteboarding to take the adaptation of the solutions and bring them forward to the customers. We'll be looking at various role-play dialogues, and we'll be looking at audio approaches so we can actually adapt our marketing collaterals to become more than just marketing, but to actually become an interactive selling tool. This is important for us, it's important for our customers because we need to enable them to understand our solutions better. In the new world of IT, we will be looking way beyond just selling products. Neeraj talked about service providers, solution providers. This is going to be an important part across our businesses. We will need to enable our joint sales force to sell solutions at a better way than they're doing today. This is the first step that we're looking at to enable you to become further and on the forefront with your customers. Let me finish up by just showing a quote from Meg Whitman early this year. I know there's been a lot of questions with the recent split on HP. There's been a lot of questions as to where does this channel stand in the split with the two new companies. For HP, the channel is the core of our business. What we've achieved in the past 3 years on the 5-year journey we are on, we couldn't have done without you, we couldn't have done it without your support, and we cannot succeed being two companies without your continued support. So the channel will still be on the forefront of everything we do, and you will be essential for our business. And with those words, I'll invite Alistair back up on stage to host the Q&A.
Thanks, Thomas. So maybe just, I will ask a few questions first, but think about what you'd like to ask and I'll open it up to the floor shortly. But maybe just picking up on that final point, you both mentioned pan-HP, you talked about the engagement across both business units. How, and I put this to Bill on stage, how are you going to maintain that one HP going forward given the announced split?
That's a great question. And we will be two separate legal entities. We will be two separate companies. However, there is a lot of elements across the two companies which we can actually leverage from in front of our customers, both on the product development side, but also on the solution side. What we're looking at, and we call it the Star Alliance of the IT business, we're looking at how can we build an alliance between Hewlett-Packard Enterprise and HP Inc. to reward our partners to do business across both business units, and how can we reward, similar to an airline reward system, how can we reward our sales force for actually enabling the business together?
Okay, Neeraj from...
Yeah, so, my view is that partners are going to be at the center of everything that we do. And today we run in the PPS and the enterprise group organization, almost parallel organizations that go and talk to partners. So the two account managers, the two distribution managers. So at the ground level, I don't see too much of a change. I think the key point is that the commitment to the channel is extremely strong on the HP Inc. side, and it is extremely strong on the HP EG side. So I think this is the commitment to the partners that will matter, and that's part of our DNA, and that's what I'm really happy about.
And what about the common resources? I mean, Unison, you mentioned the PartnerOne program. Today your partners benefit from having a common platform. How will you maintain that? How long will that be maintained? Thomas?
Well, on both of them, we have a unique opportunity. The Unison platform is a hosted platform. So what we need to do there is actually just doubling the licenses so our partners in both companies get access to the platform. What we will be doing, obviously, is to split the platform out, so we will make one that is HP Inc. focused and one that's Hewlett-Packard Enterprise focused. But the platform is already built to be splitted, so we have the ability to already launch it towards both parts of the companies. Similar on the PartnerOne, we have a unique partner program today. We can make that happen moving forward. We will have 2 partner programs. I've told Neeraj he can have partner 2 and we will keep partner 1. And if that doesn't work out, then we will probably find a new branding for the 2 partner programs. But the core, the skeleton of the partner programs will remain the same. So we will split them out. We will make them more agile to each of the companies. But the framework, the direction will remain the same. And we have a fantastic foundation on PartnerOne, and we do not want to lose that.
Yeah. I think, Bill said it right in the morning, focus and simplify. This is what this exercise will bring. And the PartnerOne is at a stage where it's been rolled out now for almost close to 2 years. So it's at a stability level right now. So, as the 2 partner programs settle down into new companies, they're already very mature programs. I think that's the key. So then you can then build on those programs to further simplify and focus for your businesses. So I'm very happy that, the stability of the program has been achieved, and we're at a stage where we don't see any significant disruption because of, getting into 2 organizations at the back end.
You have to split it into partner 1 or partner 0.5. Let me open it to the floor. Who has any questions for HP? There is a roving mic, so, the mic will come to you. If you want to just say your name and your company, that would be great. And this is a small, intimate group, so please feel free to ask the pressing questions you have for the key execs for HP. Who would like to go first? There must be one question. Come on, who's going to be brave enough to put their hand up? Ah, great, thank you. Over here.
Yeah, I'm Bijoy from Vertex, from India. Okay, I have a question for you, Neeraj. What's the kind of acquisitions you are planning in the near future for the HP enterprise?
Obviously, very forward-looking, and obviously not privy to as much as the forward-looking that I'm talking about. But I would say that as you become 2 separate organizations, you become leaner and meaner, and your ability to look forward and to invest into, areas that you could complement your business with would be much higher. But obviously not in a position to state what acquisitions we are looking at.
Thank you.
That raises a good point. The split company or the 2 individual companies, one of the benefits will be that you have greater flexibility and greater leeway to make investments which benefit the individual companies in a way you hadn't as one HP. Would that be fair?
Yeah, I think that's a fair statement to make, because I think as I was talking about in my presentation around the big trends around big data, mobility, security, and cloud, there are obviously pieces that need to be complemented together for the transformation piece, and that's where the opportunity is. And yes, of course, I think it will make us leaner and more nimble to look at how do we fill up our portfolio.
I was talking to a partner yesterday, and we were discussing about the fact that a lot of the new challengers to HP are often, particularly on the EG side, are startup players who are, relatively small, very nimble, and what they want to see from HP is more of a sort of startup behavior, adopted by HP to help you counter that.
Yeah, that's an interesting observation. I think a couple of things on the startup players. First, I think the stack needs to be much bigger for the players to get bigger and more pervasive in the marketplace. I think we have a stack that is very comprehensive and serves so we are much more complex in that manner. The second thing is around Unison. I talked about how we want to automate our deployment with partners. So, for example, with Smart Choice in Australia, which is our pricing program pilot that we've run through our operations team, our responses of pricing are now running in hours. So to be nimble and to be focused is actually our aim as well. So as we given the size that we have, we would also want to be leaner and meaner through the automation that we're putting in place.
Okay. Next question. Thank you.
Hello. Yeah, my question is to Neeraj specifically. I'm Ashim from Jaipur, from India. Specifically from enterprise perspective, as of now, if we see the reach of enterprise, HP is much lesser in upcountry markets, smaller markets. I'm trying to address, as against metros and bigger markets. But as of now, being HP one, a lot of benefits, a lot of selling of enterprise products were happening in those markets through other partners of HP. Going forward, how do you plan to address that kind of a space from enterprise perspective?
Thanks, Ashutosh. I think that's a very thoughtful and insightful question, the question that we are discussing internally in HP as well, because for us, partner breadth is very important. And in places like India, Southeast Asia, Taiwan, Hong Kong, geographical expansion is a key focus area for us. I think as we continue to build into deeper into cities, we've always seen that the PC and the printer penetration is far ahead in the cities versus the servers, and then the rest of the businesses. Through our journey of SMB and through the focus that we have around in an unattended space, we want to reach there. In fact, some of the initiatives that we're driving in that area is to enable more partners through a web automated program. In fact, that's a program that I'm trying to enable right now, that for fiscal 15, we'll have our distributors train more smaller partners in smaller cities so that they can sell more. So very much consciously aware of the challenge that comes in, but very much prepared to compensate our distributors to sell more in smaller cities, and also very much prepared to enable our distributors and our smaller partners to help sell for us. So yes, it's a journey for us, but we are consciously aware of that progress to be made.
Great. Who's next? So I have a question for you, Thomas. You talked about mobility, and rightly we agree with you that it's a huge trend. But equally, mobility is being driven by cloud, by the link to the application, and of course there's a very close link between data center and mobility within organizations. So again, going back to the potential opportunities or otherwise represented by the split, how does that play out? Do you think that PPS will continue to partner with HP, Hewlett Packard Enterprise, to kind of drive that opportunity around mobility end to end through to the data center, or will you also see partnerships with other enterprise players, new alliances?
Well, the whole purpose of the split is to make us more agile and more flexible. But what we see today and the way we are developing our mobility solutions from a PPS perspective is closely linked with the enterprise group, which means that we will have a strong foundation for the future there as well. Hewlett Packard Enterprise will have a great foundation after the split to continue to develop their solutions. We still believe they're the best in the industry. That enables us to work on our mobility solutions from a client perspective to engage with Hewlett Packard Enterprise in that part. What we'll try to do in the beginning is to choose the verticals that are important in mobility, where we see that there is a great target environment, where we have a huge opportunity to develop the business. We're looking at education, we're looking at healthcare, we're looking at retail solutions, and all of that is being developed in relationship with EG today, but they're being marketed in separation.
Right.
So I don't see a lot of change. I see that we have a strong foundation for a partnership, and we have a good opportunity to continue to develop mobility solutions with Hewlett Packard Enterprises, also in 12 months.
Do you think that partners need to develop new skills around mobility, particularly referring to the sales plays you mentioned?
I think in general, partners need to develop new skills. The consumers are changing. We have different players in the industry. We have large consultants houses moving into IT. They're delivering solutions. They're enabling customers to buy it through themselves or through other partners. And our partner community needs to develop with that pace. So both on mobility, on printing, on big data, our partner community needs to develop with us so we can ensure that we enable the customers to get the solutions moving forward. So definitely both for mobility and in general.
Okay. Who would like to ask another question to HP? I don't want to dominate the Q&A. Yes, thank you.
I'm Shaji from India. What's HP's strategy in the collaboration and unified communication space?
Yeah, great question.
Collaboration and?
I didn't hear
Unified communication.
Unified communication and collaboration.
Well, I think from a strategy on unified communication space, generally it's taking a step back and looking at networking. I would say, wireless is going to be a key area where we are focused on, and we see, verticals like education, healthcare sprouting up from a proliferation of the wireless space. And obviously with the advent of software-defined networks, we want to be at the cutting edge of the technology to make sure that we are able to transform some of the existing networks into having simpler configurability and ease of use. Anything that you have?
No, I think you did it well.
So maybe let me switch to the topic of cloud. Obviously you mentioned private cloud being a big driver, and infrastructure growth is still very strong. What about HP's public cloud ambitions in APJ? Are you developing that?
HP's focus on cloud is clearly on hybrid, which is basically, giving the choice to the customer to consume and manage the workload in the environment that he or she is in. And we've been really pioneers in this, because if you look at the strategy that we've had in the last 5 years around converged infrastructure, the stack up to infrastructure was our HP cloud system, and now we have the HP Helion as a stack, which is an open stack environment where partners can participate in. So clearly we believe that the path moving forward is more hybrid in nature. There may be some cases where there may be a public cloud requirement, but as of now, our focus is around hybrid. And I think the reason I say that is because we provide a very open and a secure environment for the partners, the developers, and the customers. And I would also say a very agile environment where people can, work across platforms and be nimble and, have access to different workload applications.
And I mean, a lot of partners are still trying to define what path they should take to capture the cloud opportunity. What is HP's message to your partners? Should partners be building their own data centers to be able to deliver cloud services? Should they be reselling HP's own cloud services? Should they be aggregating your service provider, Helion network partners, that kind of thing? What would be the advice to your partners?
That's a very, very interesting question, and I get that question a lot from the partners today, and from partners who are slightly larger in size. I think today, partners are, I would say, in a wait-and-watch approach, because there is no clear end state. There are partners who are clearly focused on not investing in a data center and aggregating or broking the services that they see through a service provider. We do have a lot of partners, though, who are actually putting up their own data centers and reselling services. For example, Brennan IT in Australia, Oriel in Australia. We have a unique combination of 21 companies in India who got together as all-time IT, and they're serving out to the customer. So I think it's the question of financial capacity of the partner and the due diligence that they need to perform as they move to a services-led model. I was talking about the services-led model change. It's a change that the partner principal has to invest in, and he has to develop the skill and the philosophy to drive that change. But I've seen that some of our mid-tier and large partners have moved with data centers in their own premises. And I've also seen that the market that they've gone after is actually the mid-market and the customers below the large enterprise. So, there are local customers, people can, in fact, I've seen some partners in Australia, besides having that, also having a single rep who meets these partners face-to-face as well as they transition over to as a service. So I think, in a nutshell, I think the choice is with the partner, and the partners should always remember that. The key business focus areas are the financial outlays that you have and how big you want to invest and how strong your business case is in terms of your customer environment.
Anyone have a question around cloud, or even share an experience or comment on HP strategy, things that could be improved or that's working well? It'd be great to hear from you. No, everyone's very quiet today.
Yes.
Maybe let's change direction to Sprout. We talked about that on stage. What's the, just going into a bit more detail, what do you see as the opportunity for partners around Sprout?
I think this is, and Nick mentioned it, it's a brand new category for us. It's a brand new way of addressing customers. It's immersive computing. It's mixing 3D scanning with interaction, with an all-in-one part. And I think that gives our partners a unique opportunity to reach into customer segments where we have traditionally not been strong. I'm thinking graphic arts, I'm thinking hobbyists. We have a unique first product here. And based on that, we will continue our development. The Sprout product is just one out of many developments we are working on in HP to make sure that we are addressing new technology, new needs in the market. And I think our partners need to see this as an opportunity to address new customer segments, but also to bring computing into a new way, into a new way of thinking. And it gives a lot of add-on opportunities because there's going to be software opportunities, there's going to be solution opportunities that we can add into that part. And quite frankly, it gives us an additional product to sell to the end customer.
Can you explain the brand?
Explain the brand, yeah, absolutely. And
a lot of people hate Sprouts in Europe.
We've had a lot of fun about Sprout. The interesting part with Sprout is that it's something that's growing, it's something that's evolving, but it's also something that you see at a significant pace.
Yep.
So for us, it's a symptom of bringing new things out that are not there at a speed which we've not seen so far, and it's the whole evolution of seeing things evolve as you go.
And do you think this indicates, a new direction in terms of innovation around PCs?
Absolutely, and I think that's what we've seen over the past 3 years, not only in PPS, but also in the enterprise group with the new products we brought out. HP has been, and we've acknowledged that, we've been coming a bit from behind over a couple of years. What we want to do, we want to get back to the roots. We are a 75-year-old company. We were founded on innovation and on engineering. We want to make sure that we are not coming from behind. We are on the forefront. We are defining the industry. We are defining the technology and the categories that we're playing in. And Sprout is one example of that.
Okay. Any questions that anyone has? No? Okay, another one for me then. PCs are growing still. We've seen a resurgence in the PC market globally. And I just wanted to get your thoughts on where you see those trends going in the APJ region as well. I mean, the migration from Windows XP has been a big driver of desktop as well as notebook growth in the corporate space. Are there other drivers? Do you think this is going to continue as an opportunity for partners, or other drivers for the PC market?
That's a very good question, and we get that a lot. And it reminds me a bit about the paperless office back in the 90s. Everybody thought we were going to stop printing. Same thing on computing. 2 years back, everybody thought that tablets were going to take over from the notebook. And then we realized there was a need for both consumption and creation, and you cannot actually solve both needs with the same unit. And one of the interesting part was everybody has been telling us that the desktop is dead. We've seen enormous growth figures over the past 24 months on desktop computing. So we do not see the computer as dead. On the contrary, we see changing needs both at home but also in businesses. We see a growing need for our value computing line on workstations. All-in-ones are getting more used by our customers, both in terms of graphics, in terms of retail environments. We do see growth opportunities on the tablet side as a secondary unit, but also as a brand new category into retail, into healthcare, where you've typically would maybe have had one desktop computer shared in a hospital between 10 doctors. Now they're all going to see a tablet and they're going to do their work on that part. So we actually see that the category creation is growing that market. So whereas our individual needs may not be expanding, then we do see new categories driving the PC growth in the future.
Okay. And Neeraj, just a thought on, again, thinking about the split, the opportunity for Hewlett-Packard Enterprise in terms of potential partnerships with other PC brands. Is that something we might see?
Well, we've got HP Inc., right? I mean, and there's going to be clearly a good federation between the two companies. So yeah. I don't think there is currently any direction towards that thought. But we are focused more on being an enterprise player with enterprise solutions, and that's where our strength is. And that's, I guess, in the near-term future, that's where we will be.
The one that springs to mind is IBM's relationship with Apple. Is that it's probably a difficult question to answer with
It is a forward-looking question, but like I said, we collaborate with the HP PPS business today very closely. I don't see any reason for us not collaborating as we move forward in the future. And beyond that, I think it's difficult to speculate.
But just to add to that, the split actually gives us a great need and a great commitment to continue to be on the forefront on innovation in both companies. So with two separate companies, we're relying on bringing innovation forward, because otherwise, naturally, there can be sometime in the future freedom to choose other vendors. But we do sincerely believe that between our two companies, we have the strongest value proposition.
Okay, great. Well, maybe unless there are any other questions, final chance. Burning questions anyone has? No? Okay. Great. Well done.
I have a question for James, that as far the tablet discussion was happening, so like in the desktop market, we see two product lines. One is for the consumer and one is for the home segment. So are you planning anything on the tablet area also?
So we're continuing our tablet development, and what you see in certain markets, we have a strong foothold in the tablet, where we have phablets coming into the Indian market, as an example, in the consumer business. We are developing and continue to develop our current lineup of enterprise tablets as well on the Windows platform. We do believe that the future relies on a multi-OS environment, and we do continuously develop both on the Windows platform and on the Android platform, both to enterprise and to consumers. So you will see us leveraging the design features, the functionality across the two categories. One thing we will never compromise is the security, manageability, and serviceability in the enterprise segment.
Great. And maybe just a final thought from both of you. Where do you think your partners, sort of top 3 priorities for the next 12 months, where would you advise them thinking about in terms of growth opportunities with PPS and with EG?
Okay, so I think from the enterprise group side, we've been very focused around the opportunity in the SMB space, which is the small and medium businesses. There is a good ecosystem that we have developed, and now we're working very closely to create more leads and pass them to our partners. So I think clearly the unaddressed market, which is not covered by us and covered jointly with partners, and as an opportunity. I think the other one that I want to bring out is the Windows 2003 end of life on July 14th. I think that represents a significant opportunity of growth for our partners here. I was reading some statistics which talks about millions and millions of servers to be upgraded before July 14th. And if you can take a cue from the XP end of life that happened very recently, you're going to see a surge of demand there. So a call out for Windows 2003 growth. The third area for growth that I like to call out, and that's more HP for HP servers. I think HP servers is in a very leveraged environment, considering the transition of Lenovo that's happening to IBM, and also the privatization that's happened with Dell. I think it's a great opportunity for partners to work with us. In a leveraged environment, we are seeing more and more partners, looking at working for us. And if you look at the third area of focus, the flash array in storage, it's a great opportunity of growth. We are seeing 3-power growing in almost close to double digit. And of course, I talked about the wireless strategy. I think the networking space per se represents a double-digit opportunity for all partners. It's growing. It will go pan-industries, and it's a great opportunity for us. So I think a few areas, some of them very tactical, like Windows 2003, because it's a steering opportunity.
Yep.
Some strategic in nature because of the transformation that's taking place.
Right. And Thomas, very quickly, and maybe to close as well.
From a PPS perspective, I would say start the journey towards a service and solution-led business model. Otherwise, somebody else are going to move into that area. And this is a long-term journey. It's not a quick fix. Secondly, start looking at mobility solutions and ink in the office. This is where we see huge growth coming in our business. It's also where we see better opportunities for profitability. Thirdly, I agree with Neeraj, SMB is a top priority for us. We need to find better ways together with our partners to actually adapt to that part. And I actually have a fourth point, and that'll be my closing remark. Help to keep us honest and focused through the process we are going through. We need your help over the next 12 months to ensure that we deliver on our targets.
Great. Thank you very much, both of you. We are serving lunch now outside. And then we look forward to seeing you back here in the keynote room for the keynotes at 1:30. But in the meantime, please join me in thanking Thomas and Neeraj. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thanks, Felicia.